With their enemies taken care of, Derek and his group made to leave the palace courtyard. The entire area was a mess with splotches of sand, unlevel earth, deep cuts in the ground, and general destruction. But that had nothing to do with him. The king could figure all that stuff out when he got back home. Edward called on one of the servants left in the palace and handed the surviving guard, Brent, off to him. The guard was only unconscious now. He would wake in time. Avery had revived him, and Edward pumped him full of potions afterward. He just needed some rest. "We can go now," Edward said, and they all began their trek back to the teleportation building under the murmurs and gazes of onlookers. What happened here today would surely be gossiped about for a while, or at least until something else big happened. Avery left the group about a quarter of the way back. He had to get back to the restaurant and his recruits. He had left the two boys in the middle of training without giving them much of an explanation. Derek couldn't help but smile because the man's eyes lit up just like his voice did when he talked about them. It seemed the man really enjoyed having disciples. "Well, that was uneventful," Derek said as they walked through the giant city. "I know," Edgar replied. "I really expected more out of the vice leader of the Assassin's Guild. I didn't even get to go all out. It was all too easy." She seemed a bit worse for wear because of Avery. "It would have been a better fight if she was fresh," Derek said. "Are the two of you crazy?" Edward cut in. "Uneventful, easy. Do you know what I just went through? Do you know what it's like to have both of your arms cut off?" "Yes," Edgar said. "Kinda," Derek replied. You do?" Edward was flabbergasted. "Unlike some members of my family, I don't take it easy when I'm training." Derek nodded. "You get your best skill-ups when you're in real fights." He agreed with the young prince before shifting the conversation back to his arms. He wasn't expecting the man to give such an answer. "You had both of your arms cut off?" Edgar nodded. "Yeah, I was in a dungeon a couple of years ago. Have you fought any of those mantises with the side-like arms?" "The winged ones?" Derek asked. "Yeah, those," Edgar confirmed. "I was fighting a boss type and lost an arm early on in the fight. Then, at the end, I gave up my other arm to finish it off. Luckily, my team was there to help put me back together, and I was able to reattach them, instead of having to seek a healer that could grow them back. What about you?" "People," Derek said. "People are the worst." "What happened?" "Ambush," Derek began. "I walked straight into it. One of those mistakes you don't make twice. Usually. You don't get to make it once. I got lucky. It's one of the reasons I love my endurance and vitality so much. Lost my arm in the ambush. When I finished the fight, my remaining arm had multiple fractures. It was a pain, and I didn't have a team to help put me back together." "Yeah, the two of you are insane," Edward said. "How come I never heard about you losing your arms?" he asked Edgar. "Loose lips sink ships," Derek answered. "I like that," Edgar said. "Never heard it before." "It's a saying where I come from," Derek said. "Like snitches get stitches." "I like that too. I'll have to remember those," Edgar said. "But to answer your question, brother, my team knows when to talk and when to keep their mouths shut." The three continued their small talk all the way back to Savannah. It took much longer to get back when you were guzzling mana potions and using skills. By the time they made it back to the Crown restaurant in Savannah, it was dark out. The three men were escorted back up to their original room, where the king, Alanah, and Natalie were still waiting for them. "You took your time getting back?" Alanah gave Derek a sly smile. "Avery reported in over an hour ago." Derek smiled. "Well, we weren't in a rush this time, and I wanted to see a little bit of the capital." "Wait, you knew?" The king butted in. "Why didn't you say anything?" Alanah shrugged. "You didn't ask. I'm surprised your people haven't sent you anything."